Well, welcome to another event video. It feels like a while since last summer when we were filming these events on a regular basis. Today I'm at an event hosted by the EYTCC, that's the East Yorkshire Thoroughbred Car Club. I'm actually at their Humber Bridge meet, which is an event I've wanted to do for quite a while, and I've never been able to attend because I'm at work. You might just see behind me there we've got the Humber Bridge, which was actually built and opened to the public in 1981, and at the time it was actually the longest suspension bridge in the world. A record which it actually held until the late 1990s. But anyway, back to the cars. I've been here over an hour already just chatting with people, and we've already got quite a diverse range of cars, and they are still coming in. We've got 3 big car parks full of cars, so let's go and take a look and see what we can find. It's not often that we get to feature motorcycles on the channel. I did actually feature some classic Japanese motorcycles at the Weight and Walls event last year. But the one that's caught my eye today is there's a couple of mopeds here. And obviously back in the sort of 70s and 80s, these were all the rage, especially with younger riders. Chris, you've got fond memories of actually having these sort of mopeds back in the day, and you've actually brought one along today. You've got this lovely Honda SS50 behind us.
Yeah, you had to live that era really, because it was a fantastic time for anybody of that age. Now, I mean, obviously they're very nostalgic. People want to buy them now. They're fetching good money, but back in the day we just used to wreck them. And obviously now we're restoring them and loving them and looking after them. Yeah.
So you've brought the Honda. So tell us a bit about this model.
The Honda SS50 was a bit frowned upon because it was slow. It was a 4-speed, 4-stroke, where the Fizzy FS1A was a 4-speed 2-stroke, which is a lot quicker, a lot faster off the mark. But the Honda was bulletproof. It had a bulletproof engine in it. It wasn't one of favour, but I brought one down today, which is quite special because it's only been on the road 2 years of its life, 73, 74, and it was bought by a middle-aged guy back in the day for the fuel crisis, and when the fuel crisis finished, he decided to put it in the shed, and it stayed there for 40 odd years until the poor chap died. And obviously we've retrieved it and we've restored it now. It's only covering 2,500 miles, which is very, very low, and it's very original. Yeah.
Obviously, we've got the other bike here as well, the FS1, or Fizzy as they're often known. You've actually had one of these, haven't you?
I have one now. It's in display actually at Fireways Motorcycles in Hull. It's a very, very early FS1A, which was badged as an SS, a 16er special. There was only about 8,100 of the SS's. It's a very low frame engine number, but I fully restored it, nut and bolt rebuild, and it's now being looked after by Fireways, on display in there where people can enjoy looking at it.
Excellent. Well, maybe if you get the opportunity you might be able to swing by and have a look at that one. Well, that's smashing, Chris, thank you very much. Obviously we've got a lot of cars here, so we're going to press on and try and pick out a few to have a closer look at. Of course, these sort of shows always do bring out a few Fords as well. Got Mark II and Mark I Escorts back there, this lovely Golf. So yeah, Cosworth as well, as you can imagine, obviously getting quite a lot of attention. Obviously there are a lot of classic vehicles you do see regularly at car shows such as old Fords, MGBs, etc. Certain vehicles though have once a blue moon, and one such vehicle that's caught my eye is this Fiat. It's a Fiorino, the first generation of this particular model of van, based on the 127, which you can clearly see in this front end styling here. The vehicle was actually launched in '77 with a 903cc engine. This is actually a slightly later one, which has got the 1050 engine, which actually came in '79. But really interesting looking little vehicle. They actually stayed in production until the late 1980s. Obviously very much a 127 up front, but then we've got this sort of big cube box van section on the back of it. But yeah, fascinating vehicle. Although MGBs are quite a popular car at classic car shows, it's not one that I ever really tire of seeing. Obviously the earlier cars with the chrome bumpers and everything are supposed to some more desirable than the later rubber bumper cars, but this particular one here is a 1975 Jubilee edition. These were actually to celebrate 50 years of MG, which had actually occurred the year prior in 1974, but obviously marked out by this green paintwork and this gold stripe and the gold wheels. These cars, I believe, actually had a lot of extras that would have been available at the time, included on the vehicle as standard. Obviously we can see this one's got the sunroof as well, but yeah, really nice looking car. I've always had a soft spot for an MGB GT, and it's something I would possibly like to own at some point. If we're being honest though, cars from the 1990s are probably more my era and area of expertise. Mark III Astra Estate here behind me, which looks like it's had some GSI parts put on it as well. It's quite interesting. Again, Mark III pre-facelift Cavalier. Always did quite like these. I preferred the sort of more rounded off shape of these over the Mark IIs that preceded them. But again, it was just a car that were everywhere, and I think everyone knows someone that owned one at some point. If you want a bit of diversity, we've gone from things like MGBs. Over there in front of me behind the camera, there's actually some more modern modified cars. And here behind me, Matra Moreni. Again, I've seen a few of these at French car shows, but generally out in the wild, you just don't see these things at all. Obviously composite body panels on them, 3 seats with a all left-hand drive. These typically came with a 1.6 or a 2.2 litre engine, but yeah, quite a light car, very interesting car, but almost never seen. Again, a lot more interesting stuff behind me. I've still got another car park to go through, so we'll have a look what's over there. Long-term fans of the channel will know that I've always liked Lotus, and I've always had a soft spot in particular for the Esprit, right from the Series 1s, the Giugiaro cars, and then obviously through later the Peter Stevens refresh of the car. One we've got behind me here though, owned by Liam here, is actually quite a late car. Liam, you're the lucky owner of a V8 Esprit, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So you say you've had the car about 4 years, and what are your findings about the car in that time?
It's fun to drive, just feels like an old little fighter jet, you know.
Yeah.
It overeats.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to get to the bottom of it. I've changed the radiator and it's spitting the wall, you know. But I'm just testing it now actually, because I've jacked the back end up and bled it, and it's holding at the minute, you know.
Yeah. I know mid-engine cars are often not the easiest to work on, and certainly not the easiest to bleed the cooling systems, are they?
Yeah. I haven't done much yet, so work-wise on it, so you know.
Right. So obviously this one's got the V8 in. Still used Renault 25 gearboxes, didn't they? Which I know you mentioned. Obviously they had to sort of restrict the power on these because the gearboxes just weren't strong enough, were they?
Yeah, apparently not. From what I've read, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned obviously having a go on sort of drag strip and things with this car, and you're saying obviously some of the highly tuned cars now, the Esprit's got its work cut out, hasn't it?
No, it wasn't that. They weren't even highly tuned. It was like Golf GTIs, you know, like little boy racers.
Yeah.
It wasn't that that was slower. It's because I was excited and letting the clutch out.
Right, okay.
It was spinning up to third gear, so I was only sort of pulling up to them.
Yeah.
Until I sort of got used to the... And it was only the last go I had, you know, where I managed to... I mean, if we had some sticky tyres, it'd be better, you know.
Yeah. Obviously,
I managed to let the clutch out and keep my excitement down, you know, till I could get into straight into second, and then it was all right then. But
the thing is, even though these obviously are a supercar, I mean, even the earlier 2.2 turbos were an 150 mile an hour car, and obviously these were quicker still because they're obviously turbocharged as well with a V8 in these, but where this car really shone, it's not straight line speed, it's the handling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice, lovely to drive.
Yeah.
You can feel that it's don't weigh much, you know, on the country roads.
No, obviously Lotus were, I mean, Colin Chapman was a big believer in for more, add less weight.
Yeah.
Was sort of his mantra, weren't it? Obviously the glass fibre body on these?
Yeah. Just plastic, well, pretty much.
Yeah.
Fiberglass,
Yeah, excellent. Well, that's smashing. It's you're a very lucky man, and I think the odds of me ever owning a Spree are probably getting slimmer, but...
Well, I've always looked at them, and then before I got that, they just started going up, and I thought, get one now. And to be fair, it's the best thing I've ever bought, you know, better than having any money in the bank or whatever, you know.
Definitely.
I didn't buy it at the bottom, but I bought it, you know, just as it was going up.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, and hopefully you'll have many more years to come.
Yeah, I mean, I don't keep it as clean as I should because it's in the yard at work, but, you know, put a sheet over it and...
Yeah. Well, no, you're enjoying using it, and that's the main thing. Yeah. Well, that's great, Liam. Thank you very much.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, obviously the Esprit, a car I've always wanted, and just one thing I know, I do remember actually back in period seeing a magazine review where they road tested one of these against the Ferrari 355, which was very much the car of the time. When it actually came, the Ferrari, obviously the engine in it, the V8, were more sophisticated with its 5 valves per cylinder and a crazy 8,000 RPM redline. But one thing I will say for the old Esprit, when it came to the handling, the Esprit actually outcornered it. Just the level of grip in these is, if you get them on the right road, these are absolutely phenomenal cars. Well, from one Lotus to another, we've got an Elan here behind me. Now, I do sometimes see Elans at shows, but usually not this version, because this one is actually an Elan Plus 2. So obviously we've got a couple of very small seats in the back of there, but there's a few sort of styling changes as well. It's a little bit different to the normal 2-seat version. There was a Europa here earlier as well, and in fact there was another Elan as well, sadly, which I haven't managed to get on camera this time. As you will have seen, there's been a really interesting, diverse range of vehicles here today. I've quite a few American vehicles over in this section of the car park as well. Sadly, I didn't have a chance to get round many of those. I'm really glad I came to this event. It's one I've wanted to do for such a long time. Turnout's been excellent, really has been first class. Now I've got some more events to come up very soon. In fact, today is Friday. I'm actually working tomorrow, and then Sunday I'm at Drive It Day. So I'm probably going to struggle actually getting these videos edited and out. So you're probably watching these about a week after the actual events. So we're now well into April, and I've not actually put a video out prior to this since March, when I was at the NEC for the restoration show. So a couple of reasons why it's been a few weeks since you've seen a video. First of all, I had a week where I was quite ill, so obviously nothing got done that week, and then I've just been dodging the showers. Obviously I've actually had a few cars that I were hoping to have had reviewed for you by now. They're obviously still to do, I just haven't been able to do them as of yet, but I think the next few months are actually going to be quite busy when it comes to car reviews and events, so there'll be plenty more to come. As always, if you haven't already done so and you've enjoyed what you've been watching, remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, because there will be plenty more videos like this one to come. There's also plenty of car reviews and things on the channel, so by all means check those out as well. I'll leave some links up here to subscribe and for some other videos as well. Right, I'll call that one a wrap, and I will catch you on the next video. Thanks very much for watching.